Hey BFFs, I want to personally invite you to BeFreeInnerCircle.com, your community for real sisterhood where women are showing up and doing the work. Whether you're still trying to figure out what you want to be when you grow up, or you need accountability to keep pushing forward to reach your goals, the Be Free Inner Circle is the community for you. You can expect curated content that will support you on becoming the best version of yourself, live office hours and Q&A sessions where we chat about things like overcoming self-doubt, building your confidence, practicing self-care without guilt, and so much more. Virtual live events from book clubs and workshops with guest speakers, and a supportive and active community of women that will encourage you, hold you accountable, cheer you on, and give you honest feedback and advice. It's the perfect place to be for women who are ready to show up, flourish, and be free. Join today at BeFreeInnerCircle.com. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Girl Be Free podcast. I'm your host, Siobhan, your clarity cultivator, where I am going to inspire and motivate you to show up for yourself. This week, my heart is so full of joy, bliss, love, gratitude after hosting the Be Free Meetup last weekend. And that is what I want to talk to you about. More importantly, the power of community, sisterhood, being around the right type of people that will challenge you to grow and become the best version of yourself. That's what I'm going to be digging into today. And as I think about the Be Free Meetup, I've been hosting events for years now. And this was the first one ever that I can remember where there was 100% attendance. And what I mean is that every single person that purchased a ticket showed up. There were 28 women, and I still received emails afterwards like, oh my gosh, it's sold out. I wish I could have attended. And it just has me in this space of, again, gratitude because I've worked really hard to cultivate a space where women feel free to just be, to be able to be themselves, to be able to share, to be in a judgment free space, and to be around positive, like minded women. And I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it. Women need each other. There's something magical that happens when we get together, whether that's online or in real life. We need one another to grow and to flourish. And the reason that I'm very intentional about the spaces that I curate is because I want to debunk the myth or the negative things that are being said out there of why women cannot get along or why they can't hang out. You'll never see any of that in any of the spaces that I personally create. And this for a number of reasons. I thrive off of sisterhood. I love having inspiring conversations that make me want to be better. I love being around women who are doing great things that I can learn from, but then I can also pour into as well. And so, because that is at the core of my heart, I want to put that same type of energy out into the world and let women know that spaces for you that are positive can be created and you can be a part of that. And so with women traveling, to the Be Free Meetup, there were women that came from Chicago, Pittsburgh, they drove in from Columbus, and of course, all throughout the city of Cleveland, and we jam packed the space and it was just amazing. I mean, my heart, again, is still like, wow, like I've created something so amazing that women invest in, they trust me, and then they leave feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, like they can take on the world because they see that it can be done. And I'm going to share some more things too of what I learned. But that blows my mind when women travel in from other states to be a part of something that I created. And I asked each woman that did travel, or if it was their first time, because we did have a lot of first timers there as well, what made you want to travel or attend this event? And the majority of the women said, I needed me time. I needed time with other women where I can engage with to make some connections, to have conversation. And I really wanted to be around this type of energy. And that made my heart so full because it's like, yes, that's exactly what you're going to get and so much more. So, one of the things that I do, and I'm very intentional about doing, is every single woman that walks into the room, she gets an embrace from me. I hug her. I'm so excited to see her. I welcome her into this space because a lot of times women come by themselves or they may bring a friend. And I just want everyone to feel comfortable. I want them to experience my energy and what they're about to be a part of. And to know that the intention that I set is what people leave feeling with. It's no better feeling. And then we had delicious food prepared by Gwen. Her handle is Weekend Vegan, that I will put in the show notes for you. When I tell you she prepared that food with so much love, like you can feel it. And everyone enjoyed it. I mean, she had a buffet of amazing vegan food for us, and her energy was right in alignment with mine, which I knew it would be. And then everyone else was able to experience that, whether through talking to her, eating her food. And so if you're in the Cleveland area, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you connect with Weekend Vegan. Again, her handle will be in the show notes. Support her work, support what she's doing, connect with her because her food is absolutely amazing. So I want to kind of talk about like what happens at the BeFree Meetup. First we start off with a little bit of networking where women are able to engage with one another at their tables. We had an activity, so they were able to complete some questions about what goals they wanted to work on for the new year, what their intention was, why did they want to reach those goals, and then what actionable steps they were going to take in order to make the goals happen. And the reason that I did this twofold. One is because when you begin to put things that you desire in your heart on paper, there's something that happens when you do that. And then when you share it with other people, now you have accountability and you're putting it out in the universe because it's something that you deeply desire. And so we had a really good conversation about like what the ladies were working on, what they wanted their new year to look like, and the intention that they were going to set in order to have everything that they desired. And again, just hearing so many different things, whether they wanted to launch their business or they wanted to work on forgiveness, which that was a really good conversation because I've talked about forgiveness on the podcast before, and that conversation came up at the BeFree Meetup where there was a young lady who shared how one of the things that she wanted to work on for the new year is forgiveness, but she wasn't ready yet. And I respected that so much because sometimes we feel like we have to rush and do things. So I did ask a few more questions, but everything has to be done in your own time. And so I hope when you listen to my podcast or you're a part of the BeFree Inner Circle, or you follow me on social media, is that you're reading the content, you're listening to the content, and then you're figuring out how can I apply this to my life if it works. And we're all living out our own stories. We're all on our own journeys. And so you have to do things as it feels good to you. But forgiveness is so, so important. And what I told her, I said, forgiveness is not about the other person. It's so that you can be free. And in order to really grow and flourish and blossom into the woman that you desire to be, if you hold on to unforgiveness, it's going to keep you stagnant. And the only person that's suffering from it is you, because that person has moved on with their life because it doesn't affect them like it affects you. So, my hope, even if it's someone listening, is that if you're living or suffering or struggling with unforgiveness, that you get to a place where you can find a sense of peace, where you decide to put you first and not hold on to pain that's going to prevent you from really living your best life as we move forward. And again, I did a whole podcast episode on forgiveness, so you have to scroll back through to find that. But I want to talk about what I learned over the years, after hosting so many events. Number one, and I'll say this again, I am extremely passionate about creating community. And the reason I'm very passionate about it is because of what I have in my own life. I want to put that out and give it to other women. And again, there's something beautiful when women come together, when we support one another, when we can uplift, encourage, motivate one another. Like there's something magical that happens. And so everything that I do within Be Free Project is about building community, cultivating sisterhood so that we can all flourish and grow. So whether you attend my Be Free Meetup, you're a part of my Be Free Inner Circle, you would see me speaking or something, like everything that I do is about really creating spaces for women to flourish and feel fulfilled. That is what my work is about. And I'm doing that at the best level I can and will continue to grow. Another thing that I have learned is that women need spaces to share in a judgment free zone. Oh, I was talking about this earlier. So, the first half of the event, we spend time networking, answering questions, connecting with one another. And then the second half, we go upstairs at this community space or this co working space that I work out of called the Greenhouse. And we're all in a circle and we're all sitting there together sharing, and I make sure that for the most part I do my best to make sure every single woman in the room gets an opportunity to share, because in her everyday life she's busy raising her children, being a partner, going to work, going to church, doing all these things for everybody, that sometimes she just needs someone to listen to her. And so when I ask a question like, well, what are your goals, what is your intention, some of these questions she probably haven't even asked, or excuse me, she probably haven't been asked by anyone else. So she gets an opportunity to share, and everyone is listening. And she can get feedback if she desires, right? But she's putting it out there, and no one is there to judge her. So if her dream is to be a singer, how can we help you get there? If her dream is to practice forgiveness, what can we offer to support in that way? And I love, love, love that we're in this circle where we're able to see everyone's faces. You feel the energy from the women in the room, and we're just able to express how we feel. And we need spaces like this, because and this is going to tie into the next thing that I learned, is that many women, and I'm learning this through hosting events, coaching, the inner circle, oftentimes you feel like you're the only one going through what you're going through, whether it's getting your passion project off the ground, getting over a relationship that broke your heart, healing from mother wounds or father wounds, not being able to stay consistent because you lack follow through or you're afraid of success. I mean, I hear it all, and so sometimes women think that they're the only ones who are going through what they're going through, and that's not the case, right? Because the woman across from you, she too deals with anxiety or self-doubt or self-sabotage or negative self-talk. So when you hear other women share, and this happens in the Be Free Inner Circle all the time, you realize like, whoa, there's nothing wrong with me. The sister next to me has the same, she's thinking about the same things, right? And then it challenges you to say, okay, let me figure out what I can do to grow in this area. Or you'll hear someone who has overcome anxiety, or she's figured out that meditation was the best process for her, or to go to a therapist. Then it gives you an idea like, oh, well, maybe I should practice meditation, or maybe I should go see a therapist. And so that's what I love about the communities that I build, is that you realize that you're not the only one dealing with what you're going through, and that there is support, there is community, there are people who can help you on your journey to being free and to finding fulfillment in whatever area of your life that you're looking to get that from. Another thing that I've learned is that so many women keep everything bottled up inside because they don't have a safe space to share. So they're afraid to share their dreams, they're afraid to share their pain, they're afraid to share what they really desire or what they really want for their life, because the people in their life that they're talking to day in and day out are not necessarily supportive in the way that they need it, and they need these spaces, right? And again, I'm going to say this over and over again, we really need each other. We want to be in spaces where it's positive, like-minded women that will support us. We want to be connected with our soul tribe. And another thing is that I'm learning everybody is struggling with something, and everyone's struggles will look very different. And we all want to feel like, again, we're not the only ones going through what we're going through, but we want to figure out how to move forward, how to grow, how to evolve. How do we be free? And what does that look like in our lives? Like women want that, and then they want to pursue their dreams. They really want to finally get their jewelry business from just vending at events to being in stores or getting celebrities to wear them. They really want to tell their story. They want to write books. They want to start dancing. They want to, be in healthy, loving relationships, whether it's romantic or in a friendship, like they desire that. And I'm just grateful. I mean, there's so many things that I've learned and I continue to learn, but I'm so grateful that the work that I do in Be Free Project supports women in a way that they can show up for themselves, that they can be inspired. And then another benefit, or not necessarily a benefit, but another thing that I learned, this is a gift that I have. One of the gifts that I have is that I'm really good at connecting people. So this is why I have everyone, sit in a circle. And at the end, every woman is able to go around the room, share her name, what she needs help or support with. If she has a business, she gets to share that. And when we connect with one another, then we can support one another. We know who's in the room and all of that. And that is powerful. And that's how we build this ecosystem of supporting one another. And I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I really, really, really want that to shine in my work. Like, I really want that to, like, I want every woman connected to Be Free Project and Girl Be Free listeners to feel the passion that I have when it comes to really teaching women how to show up and become the best version of themselves. And I hope you feel that in my work. And it was one lady, and I'm going to share some of the reviews that I received from the survey, but there was one lady in particular while I was there. She said, there's so much freedom all over you. Like, I can feel it, and your light just is so bright. And I hear that all the time. And it's a huge compliment when someone can experience my light. Because y'all know, and I've said it plenty of times, that my purpose is to be a light and empower others to be free. So when you walk into a space that I've cultivated for you and you can experience my light, that means that you are experiencing my purpose. And that is the greatest compliment because I am so committed to doing this work and living out the calling that's on my life. So when other women can experience it, that validates my purpose. So I want to share with you a few of the testimonies, if you will, that I received from this past Be Free Meetup. But one I want to point out is that Latanya Franklin, she is a part of the Be Free Inner Circle. She traveled to Cleveland from Chicago to attend the event. And she loved the event so much, and she wanted something similar in her city that the next day she created a group. And she's a therapist, but she created a group in her city of Chicago, and she got 21 therapists to join this community. And so she's now planning to have her first in person event. That is why I do what I do. That women will come or be a part of something that I have, and they will be motivated, inspired, and encouraged to do something in their own life. And that warms my heart that she attended my event, was so inspired, and wanted something like this in her city that she went home and created it the next day. Talk about taking action. I'm like, yes, Latanya, I'm so proud of you. But I want to share some of the other responses that I received. So Marcy said, thank you for creating this space for women to connect and discover who they are or who they want to become. Latanya said, my biggest takeaway was seeing so many women of color owning their own businesses and or groups. That showed me that I could possibly do the same. I truly wish there was a similar group in Chicago. And so again, as I told you, she went home and created that group, and I cannot wait to see or hear more about that from her. Brianna said, and she traveled in from Columbus, she said, I enjoyed the meetup. It was nice to be around women who are working toward freeing themselves and thriving in their lives. I don't often get to be around like-minded women, so I really enjoy that opportunity. I enjoyed the food as well, and it inspired me to try more vegan recipes and meal prep. Thank you, Siobhan, for all the hard work you do to provide a space for women like me to be able to express themselves without judgment, opening a community for us to come together and helping us on our journey so that we may flourish. And I love, love, love that. I love that so much. Angela said, this experience was very energizing. I enjoyed meeting new women and learning more about their stories and journeys. I am happy that this session was about goals because it helped affirm that the goals I have set, and I felt really encouraged from the feedback. My takeaway is to never make yourself small or dim your light in fear of other people's insecurities. By sharing your bold goal, it may give someone the courage they need to dream bold as well. Elise says, thank you, Siobhan, for creating a space for women to either jumpstart their personal Be Free journey or get a boost of love and light on a current journey. You are the epitome of what doing the work looks like. I can't wait to see what you have in store next. And then Andrea says, the Be Free Meetup has been the best thing to happen to me. I get to see other women going through some of the same things and figuring out ways to push through, and I love it. It makes me want to do and be better. So I received so many survey responses or what have you, but I just want to point out a few. And every single testimony or praise that I received, it validated why the spaces that I create is so necessary. So, of course, I'm taking a break from the Be Free meetups for a little bit. However, I have a whole community of women that are doing the work and flourishing every single day. And they have access to me 24/7 in my Be Free inner circle. And what I love is that I've watched women like Linda, who her episode on the podcast aired a few weeks ago, and even Latanya, and just so many different women in the community. I've watched them be stuck and stagnant in their life or just not knowing what the next step would be to now doing amazing things. And that is what happens when you have the right person in your life or the right community of sisterhood where people are not just talking about what they want to do, but they're actually doing the work. And y'all know, and I've shared this many a times too, that if you're around me for a minimum of 5 minutes, I'm going to inspire you to show up for yourself. I'm going to push you out of your comfort zone. And so to be able to have this community where I get to do that every single day, I'm thriving, y'all. And it feels so amazing. And as we prepare to go into another year, I do not want you holding on to people and things that no longer serve you. You need to begin to change your life, and you cannot do that on your own. As I've said plenty of times through this episode, we as women need one another. We need one another. We need one another. And there's something magical that happens when we gather, whether online or in real life. And so allow me to be a part of your Be Free journey. Allow me to help you flourish and feel fulfilled. Allow me to connect you with the right people and things that's going to change your life. Allow me and my community to encourage you, to motivate you, to uplift you, to inspire you, and just to be your support system as you grow to the next level. I don't want you to do it alone. I want you to do it a part of my community, which is the Be Free Inner Circle. And you can go to BeFreeInnerCircle.com. You will find the link in the show notes. And come join me. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And again, I'm in this space of gratitude where I'm thankful for every single woman who allows me to be a part of her life, and I don't take it lightly. And when I think about where my life was several years ago and just yearning to be in purpose and to make a difference and to make an impact and just not wanting to be stuck in my own life, and now being in a space where I'm able to teach women how to be free, how to show up for themselves and really teach them, man, I'm so grateful. And I will be honest, for the longest time, I thought my life would never change. Dealing with the mother wounds and, feeling lost in my life, not having any clarity about what I wanted, I thought I was going to be in that space forever. But when you get intentional about what you want, when you take time to really get clear and to be honest with yourself about how bad you want to change your life, you can move mountains. You can do amazing things. but you can't do it alone. So, my action step for you this week is to find your tribe, your soul tribe. Find your community, find your support system as we again prepare for another decade. You want to do things that's going to change your life. You cannot repeat the same old habits year after year and expect something different. Join us in the Be Free Inner Circle and then come share with me. You can come on Instagram and leave a comment on this particular episode, or if you're in the Be Free Inner Circle, you can leave a comment in the group or shoot me an email and let me know how the Girl Be Free podcast, how this episode, the work that I'm doing, how is it impacting your life? I would love to know that because I want to further help you going into the new year. So thank you so much for listening. And as always, I want you to take a moment to share this link to this episode with a friend that you care about. Share it in your IG stories on Facebook or Twitter, wherever you listen. Share, share. And then if you're feeling really fancy, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and let me know what you think about the podcast. I greatly appreciate it. And until next time, girl, be free.
My name is Denise Brown. I live in Cleveland, Ohio, and I am a member of the Be Free Inner Circle. I really enjoy being a part of this group because it consists of women who are very encouraging, they are motivated, and these women are really doing some great things. We have so many stimulating conversations in the group. We share affirmations to encourage each other, and we hold each other accountable for the things that we're working on each week. We even have a book club, which is really great because we get a chance to share dialogue with a book that we are reading for the quarter. It's really a nice shared space for women to connect and to encourage each other.